Hey guys, welcome to Strange Suspicion. Before we get into today's video, there's something very, very important that I want to tell you. I want to make it very clear that all the information in this video is absolutely 100% alleged. These are all my own personal thoughts and beliefs as requested by a subscriber about what I believe transpired on the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. If you enjoy our content here, you might also enjoy our content on Shaken Paranormal, which is our second YouTube channel. Please go on over to Shaken Paranormal on YouTube and hit the subscribe button and we'll meet you over there. Now, let's get into the Idaho 4 case, guys. I have been baffled about this case from the absolute beginning. I think it's very interesting that the details of this case are so blanketed in controversy. Like almost everything I've heard about the case was in that hearing where they asked, have you read, seen, or heard the following? And all of those questions that they named were all things that I had heard. So in going back and reading the comments and reading the Ask a Clown questions that you guys had, finally somebody asked me what I believe transpired on the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. And guys, let's go with the facts, okay? I'm not here to show you grainy footage. I'm not going to make you listen to things from a football field away. I'm not going to go with what another true crime creator believes or what a mainstream media news anchor is trying to make me believe. I'm just going to strictly go on what I know. There are two videos that I have seen that absolutely are what I base my opinion on what transpired to these four victims, Ethan, Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee. First video that I am pointing out, that I would like to point out in my opinion of what happened, is the video where they were on the way to the grub truck. We can see Kaylee, Maddie, and some man wearing a white hoodie that he is up over his head. So it's really hard to get a definite identity on this guy. But if we pay attention to everything that everybody has said online and all the speculation, we can then conclude that this guy's name is Jack Showalter. Well, Jack Showalter was walking more so with Maddie in the middle, Kaylee on the end. And what stood out to me was that Kaylee wanted to know exactly what Maddie said to Adam, as if something had just transpired that was out of sorts, and she was trying to understand what just happened, right? And the guy with the hoodie says, they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you someday. I want to know who he's talking about. And what is his connection to these people who he says is going to get her? Is his connection to bring them to these people? Or was his connection to warn them, scare them? Or was his role to put them on camera by the grub truck? Because it seems to me that they were all three leaving from the corner club, right? So if they're leaving from the corner club, all walking together, talking about what had just transpired at the corner club with this Adam guy, then okay, let's figure it out logically. I would think that this person knows Adam. He also knows the people who are the they in this situation. So this Jack Showalter, allegedly Jack Showalter guy, is with them. He's with them in this video, and he's behind them when they're at the grub truck. During the grub truck video, guys, Maddie turns around and flips him off and says, buddy, and they take off. So as they take their ride home, I believe it was possible that somebody was already told what she had told Adam. And to silence them, somebody was going to come over and teach them a lesson or ask for more information or beat it out of them. And when they went over to the house, instead of being greeted by Kaylee and Maddie, they were greeted by Ethan and Xana, who were already home. When Kaylee and Maddie had arrived home, people allegedly were still there. Somebody led them up the steps with a weapon. That would explain why Kaylee was found against the wall, as if she was cowering, all curled up, but in a sitting up position. I think this person was after Maddie. for whatever she said to Adam. It could be something big, you guys. It could be about Hudson Lindau, who allegedly drowned in this really small creek, not even, well, about 6 months before Ethan died. Maybe somebody had some kind of involvement in the death of Hunter Lindau, who had a problem with Ethan. And Ethan threatened if he came after him, he would give up information. Fraternities, like gangs, a lot of organized crime syndicates, you can't just leave. You can't just tell law enforcement about illegal happenings going on within organizations or fraternities or things of that nature. What happens then is the person who knows the information needs to be silenced. For a moment in our minds, imagine that Ethan was a super, super great guy. And no matter how much it hurt him or his career or his college experience, he was going to speak up about the death of Hunter Lindau because he was a good person. Or maybe he was just hanging it over David Loach's head. Maybe David Loach had something to do with Hudson Lindau's death. All I know is somebody came over to attack Ethan and to attack Xana first. When Maddie and Kayla came home, they were killed as well. Perhaps it was because they witnessed something, or perhaps they were the real targets. But either way, I think it is involved with fraternities and Greek Row. It doesn't necessarily have to be Sigma Chi. The fact that she called her ex-boyfriend, Jack DeCoeur, multiple times within a half hour, I feel like that's either Jack covering for himself and standing over her dead body, calling his own phone number, or it was somebody trying to lure him over to make him involved in this as well and have him lose his life. But how could he not have a gag order? There's got to be voicemails on his phone if they called that many times. There'd be some kind of recording that would be helpful in the case. According to Steve Goncalves, when this happened, Jack came over to speak with them and showed his hands and his neck and took his shirt off and showed he had no marks on him. Tried to get him away and fought him in any way. He had not a mark on him. And so many people were cleared right away. Dylan, Bethany, people that were around, people whose DNA were at the house. As far as I've heard, they didn't even search those girls' vehicles. So were they home? Were they scared, cowering as they heard these things? Because the way that the house is mapped out, Bethany would have been on the ground floor. So depending on the location of Ethan's body, there's no way that the perpetrator or perpetrators could not have noticed Bethany. And the fact that Ethan and Xana were right across the hallway from Dylan, that's even more suspect to me. And the fact that there was no forced entry. There were locks, keypad locks, where you had to know a code, guys. Who knows who came into that house? During the murders, I don't believe Bryan Kohberger was present in that house. Common sense tells me to look at the things that are directly involved with these people, like the grub truck, the footage of Kaylee, Maddie, and the guy with the hoodie, Jack Showalter, allegedly. That's confirmed to be who that actually is. Nothing else is proven to have any direct correlation with the Idaho 4 case. And we can use our imaginations as much as we want, but if we're looking at what's right in front of us, what is directly related to this case. As soon as they got their one and only suspect, the FBI agent count went super high. I don't understand what that's about if they caught their guy. Could you even believe that this was done by one person? Do you believe that? It's okay if you do, but do you actually believe all of this was planned and carried out and orchestrated by one single person? I do know that Maddie and Xana's mothers have been allegedly reported having a chemical dependency. The mothers have nothing to do with it. If you ask me, I think Kaylee might have nothing to do with it. So I think it has to do with the information that Maddie gave to Adam, whatever that information may be, and the people that Jack Showalter was saying they're gonna get you for this, Maddie. They came in to scare and make some kind of statement, and instead we're greeted by Ethan and Xana and panic, and things got out of control. And really find it hard to believe that you can safely go into some party house all by yourself with your own car, even with your phone with you. Like, how stupid could somebody be? Unless you're a drunk frat boy. Maybe it was a group of drunk frat boys on somebody's off-campus house and make a statement. The school is absolutely crazy. The information has all been in front of us the entire time. The people who know the information were in that video. And there's only one living person left in that video. Jack Showalter. And during the trial, it's him who could tell the truth. It's Jack Showalter who knows who would have been angry with them. And maybe in an intoxicated rage or in an intoxicated psychosis, things got out of control. Things seemed not real, and then they were super real, and 4 people ended up dead. Who knows? Who knows? Jack Showalter knows. I don't think he has anything to do with it, but I think he absolutely knows who would. They don't have anything else in common except the fact that they all go to the University of Idaho. 2 frat boys probably be talking about a frat boy. Maybe it had something to do with Jack DeCoeur. I don't know why he would avoid so many phone calls in a half an hour, but he certainly did. Something else was going on, or maybe that's how he covered his own tracks. But either way, none of these things have anything to do with Bryan Kohberger, other than the fact is he would be the perfect suspect. This is all related to Greek Row. Somebody on Greek Row, or somebodies on Greek Row, are absolutely responsible for the deaths of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves. No quotes, no alleged. I believe Bryan Kohberger is innocent. And whether you agree or disagree, I appreciate you spending the time with me to see what I believe. Thanks for being here. And we will have a video for you on Thursday at 4:20 as always.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth! Order